Welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, please hit the like and subscribe button. I'd appreciate that. I want to talk about the Intellivision Amico. It's been a roller coaster ride, and at the beginning, the roller coaster was climbing, then there was this thrilling drop, and then it went back up again, and there was this thrilling drop. You know, everything that's supposed to happen when you're on a roller coaster. But then the drop happened, and it kept dropping and dropping and dropping. And now, apparently, you have to pay $300 for an Intellivision Amico with one controller. Now, if you've been paying attention, like I have, because I have one pre-ordered, it was for families, which would indicate a price not close to or equal to a Nintendo Switch, even though that's for families too, but they're established and they could ask those prices because they have really great games. But it's now the same price as the Xbox Series S. It comes with one controller, hopefully still 6 pack-in games, and those games, albeit really small mobile-esque type games, like all the games were in the past that I played, this is geared towards people my age. They don't exactly scream premium price. Now, you had to have both controllers to play these games. The controllers were the selling point. You needed them. That's what was said. But now, conceivably, it seems, you really only need one, and you can use your cell phone with the app that hasn't been updated to actually enable your phone to be a controller. But if you want both controllers for the family, you can pay $350 for an Intellivision Amico with 2 controllers, like the system was supposed to come with when it was first announced, for $150. If nothing else, what the Intellivision Amico demonstrates is this really strange need that most of us have to fit in, to be part of a group, to be seen as important, to have successful whatever it is we have. Unfortunately, most people see YouTube as a barometer for success when they look at things like subscribers or viewers. That's the age that we live in. Now, what's supposed to happen is people my age aren't supposed to fall into that trap, even though we sometimes do. And the reason is because if you've lived long enough, you fell into that trap a few times and you learn, because we all have. I'll give you an example. After the video game crash, I was playing on Commodore 64. Then lo and behold, the NES was announced, and then the Sega Master System. Of course, I got both, but the Sega Master System was really where I gravitated towards and I loved. And then, of course, the Sega Genesis. And then a multitude of different weird, strange decisions from Sega of Japan, Sega of America, not listening to Sega of Japan, Sega of Japan not listening to Sega of America, multiple different consoles, multiple different add-ons, releases of new consoles, literally on stage. Go to your store, it's there now. And by the time the Dreamcast came around, I was at the point where, yes, I was still really enthusiastic about Sega, but there was a part of me that knew. I just knew it was over. They just were done. They had made too many mistakes. They had promised too many things, and they failed to deliver. And yes, they delivered with the Dreamcast, but I knew it was too late. And that's why I think nostalgia is a really, really double-edged sword when it comes to almost anything that people enjoy. So I can remember the PlayStation 2 being announced, and you just knew that Sony had done right with the PlayStation 1, and you knew they were going to deliver with the PlayStation 2, and it was just too late for Sega. I knew that. I didn't want to know it. I didn't want to accept it. But thankfully, there weren't these online social media things like Twitter or YouTube, because I think even then, I would have been able to recognize that some people were just deluded because of nostalgia. See, there wasn't this group mentality thing with social media. You don't just instantaneously have hundreds of people saying, yeah, the Amico's great. Yeah, come to my podcast. Let's start a group. Let's talk to this guy. Let's get these people to talk to us. It becomes less about the actual excitement around the product and the games, and more about being in this exclusive club that may or may not make you, quote unquote, pseudo successful on a platform that doesn't exist with people that literally don't exist because nobody is themselves on these platforms. So when people weaponize nostalgia, they take that idea of wanting to belong to something or wanting to remember something, and they see a group of people excited about it, especially in the age of social media and the ability to quote unquote reach people. They go to try and get people to help them quote unquote reach people. And that's where, again, I started to look and thought to myself, well, if you want to reach people, why aren't people with hundreds and hundreds of thousands of subscribers talking to you on their stations or their channels? I keep calling it stations. That's how old I am. Why aren't they going to those 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 YouTube channels to talk about this product that everyone is supposed to be excited about? Why are they only going to small channels? And look, I am a small channel, and if somebody at Intellivision came to me and said, we want to give you the exclusive first look at the Intellivision Amico, the first thing that would pop into my head after living as long as I have would be, why? Why do you want to talk to me? I've got 400 subscribers on YouTube. Who are you reaching? That would give me a clue that maybe some things are not correct. So look, to sum all this up, everybody gets taken for a ride at some point in their lives. And I'm not saying that this thing won't come out in some way, shape, or form. If you want to spend $300 to $350 in 2022 for a video game console geared towards families with games that could be played on a phone, which in fact will be played on a phone, because if you get one controller, you can use your phone. If you get two controllers, you can use your phone. Why do we need the controllers? We needed the controllers. We needed the controllers. Nothing could be done without the controllers, and now we don't. If you want to pay $300 to $350, go ahead. If it brings you joy, go ahead. $300 for joy, $350 for joy. I would spend it if it makes you happy. Unfortunately, the one thing that is never going to be addressed by people that swallowed this, people that drank this Kool-Aid, the one thing that will never be addressed is how they were used, how they were weaponized, and how they treated people who simply pointed out the problems. That is the power of nostalgia. That's how you weaponize it. And that's why it's a double-edged sword. It could be really, really great, but it can also cause you to do things that are really, really bad. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.